Hey everybody, hope you're doing good. I want to show you my favorite way to get comps aside from the MLS. Now, my business partner Martin is a realtor, and so I typically use the MLS for the comps, which is really the best and most pure way to get comps because you get to see everything that's sold and you get to see the days on market, which is super handy. Now I don't have access to the MLS personally, and there's times that when I'm talking to a seller on the phone that I may want to just pull up some quick comps and get a real good idea of roughly what the ARV is without doing a very detailed analysis. Also, for a long time I did not have MLS access. And what I'm going to show you is what I found to be the best way and a free way to get comps. So I do two things when I'm looking for comps. So I'm going to punch in an address of a house in Durham that I looked at recently, and I'm going to do two things. The first thing I'm going to do is go to Zillow, and this is a foreclosure I had looked at, and the Zestimate and all that, and this thing down here that says what Zillow thinks it's worth. I'm going to ignore all that because it usually doesn't make any sense. But if you go down here to nearby similar sales and you click on that, and then you go to distance and you click that arrow, it will arrange them in the closest to that house, and it gives you the bed and bath, the square footage, the year, and the price per square foot that sold. And then up here it gives me that same information about the subject property. So it's a 3.2, 1,212 square feet, built in 77, and I can look and see, like, for example, like this would be a great comp right here, and that's sold for $79 a square foot. These wouldn't work because they're too new. And then this would be another good one, sold for $51 a square foot, similar in year. Now, that's one of the first things I do. The next thing that I do is I go to homesnap.com, and this is, in my opinion is that this is the next best thing to the MLS for pulling comps. Now, I happen to know that in Zillow, that I know the market well enough to know that there are some sales that happened that were not in Zillow for some reason, and some of the sales that were in Zillow were foreclosures, which sold at a discounted price. And for ARV, you don't look at those. You look at what houses are selling at for retail. And I know that this is actually pretty darn accurate. Probably more like 135 is a good ARV for this house. But I really love HomeSnap. So it's going to give you all the information here, when it was sold last, the date, how much, year built, all that stuff. It gives you the market health score, which I really like, on a 100-point scale. So out here it's deteriorating. It gives you the ratings of the schools, and I'm not sure what this is as far as what survey they took to get this rating. I don't know that, but I do know that this is pretty accurate. And it gives you the average days on market as well. So 120 days on market is average. Median list price is 217. In this zip code, there's 151 houses for sale, about a 10.1 month inventory. Then right here, the recent sales, like the subject property, it gives you 4 comps, and they're all accurate and they're all fresh. They have sold recently, and these are houses that sold at retail, and you can click on these and you can go through the pictures that they had when it sold, so you can see if the house, like for example this one, that's not a very modernized kitchen. So you can see if they had put a little more into the kitchen. Bathrooms don't look bad, but if they put a little more into the kitchen, maybe it could have sold for even a little bit more. And then also above that, right here, it gives you active listings of properties in that area that are comparable and listed on the market. So my favorite way, second only to the MLS, is HomeSnap, and then I also go on to Zillow and look under the recently solds. And then one other one I'll show you that that I do use sometimes, and I think is better than Trulia and some of those other ones, is Homes.com. And let's see, where is that? Right here. Homes.com is not too bad. Like, that is a lot closer than Zillow. Zillow is usually way off on this estimate. But under recently sold, it'll have some here. And again, not as good as HomeSnap. Same with Zillow, not as good as HomeSnap, but it is still a way to get comps.